What if I told you that two men separated by 17 years, playing the same sport on the same surface, won their fifth Grand Slam title at the exact same age, 22 years, 1 month, and 3 days old? What if I told you that one of them took 5 years to reach that milestone, grinding through injuries that would end most careers? While the other? He did it in 3 years, with a body engineered completely differently. But here's what nobody saw coming. Hidden inside their muscles, their tendons, their very DNA, is a biological trade-off so fundamental that it determines who burns bright and fast and who grinds until the body breaks. I'm Sebastian, performance detective, and today we're dissecting the impossible. Why Carlos Alcaraz and Rafael Nadal, playing identical tennis, have bodies destined for opposite fates. Let's break it down. June 2025. Roland Garros. Carlos Alcaraz wins his fifth Grand Slam at 22 years, 1 month, 3 days old. The exact same age Rafael Nadal was when he won his fifth at Wimbledon 2008. 1 day apart. Alcaraz called it destiny, but destiny has a body mass index, and theirs, completely different. Here's the number nobody talks about: 11 kilograms. That's 24 pounds. That's the weight of about 3 bowling balls, or a medium-sized dog. That's how much lighter Alcaraz is than Nadal was at the same age. Same height, 6 feet 1. But Nadal at 22 weighed 85 kilograms of dense muscle. Alcaraz, 74 kilograms of explosive engineering. So what does 11 kilograms actually mean for a tennis player's body? Everything. Nadal's body was built like a powerlifter who learned to run marathons. Think of a Mack truck with Formula One tires. His muscle architecture featured longer fascicles, the individual bundles of muscle fibers that make up your muscles. Translation: Nadal could generate sustained, crushing power for hours without the system collapsing. Alcaraz is the opposite blueprint. Leaner limbs, shorter fascicles. And here's the critical difference: 35 to 40% type 2X muscle fibers. The Ferrari engine of human muscle. These fibers produce 3 times more power than regular fast-twitch fibers. They contract faster, explode harder, but they fatigue catastrophically. To put this in perspective, most people have about 20% type 2X fibers. Olympic sprinters can have up to 70%. Alcaraz sits right in that explosive sweet spot. Nadal's decades of clay court grinding converted his fibers toward Type 2A, the endurance variant. Lower peak power, but sustainable for 30-shot rallies. Think diesel engine versus nitrous oxide. This is where the biological trade-off begins. Alcaraz chose explosiveness. Nadal chose sustainability. And their bodies will pay different prices for those choices. January 30th, 2026. Australian Open semifinal. Alcaraz versus Zverev. 5 hours, 27 minutes. And in the middle of it, Alcaraz's body started breaking down. Not from weakness, from physics. When Alcaraz executes a forehand slide on hard court, he absorbs 1,500 to 2,600 newtons on the breaking leg. For a 74-kilogram athlete, that's 2 to 3.5 times body weight, the equivalent of jumping off a kitchen counter and landing on 1 foot. 500 times per match. Imagine doing that 500 times in a single day. Your knees would be screaming. But there's a second muscle taking the punishment. A muscle most people have never heard of. And when it fails, careers end. The gluteus medius. A small hip muscle on the side of your pelvis, about the size of your palm. Research on 100 elite tennis players found that optimal hip abduction range reduced hit-to-return time by exactly 10%. Over a 5-hour match, Alcaraz gained an estimated 25 to 30 net points just from superior deceleration mechanics. But here's the hidden cost. This slide technique is writing a prescription for future knee degeneration. And hour 2, set 3 of that Zverev match? The bill came due. 4-4 in the third set. Alcaraz calls a medical timeout. Right adductor cramping. Zverev explodes. He has cramps. This is absolute bullshit. You cannot be serious. What Zverev didn't know? This wasn't dehydration. This was a central nervous system failure. For decades, conventional wisdom blamed cramps on electrolyte depletion. Your mom told you to eat a banana. Sports drinks promised salvation. Except 4 prospective studies found 0 significant differences in serum sodium, potassium, or fluid volume between cramped and non-cramped athletes. The real mechanism? Altered neuromuscular control. After 2 hours, 37 minutes of explosive lunges, Alcaraz's adductor accumulated extracellular acetylcholine, the chemical messenger that tells muscles to contract. With incomplete recycling, acetylcholine builds up. Overstimulation. Signal chaos. Involuntary cramp. Think of it like a light switch being flipped on and off thousands of times per second. Eventually, the switch gets stuck in the on position. Add central nervous system fatigue from explosive play, and you lose descending inhibitory control from the motor cortex. The brain can't tell the muscle to calm down anymore. So how do you stop a neurological short circuit in 20 seconds? You don't fix the muscle. You hack the nerve. Alcaraz reaches for pickle juice. Not for electrolytes. For the trigeminal nerve. Pickle juice contains salt and vinegar. When held in the mouth, these compounds stimulate the trigeminal nerve, which transmits painful sensations to the brainstem. That brainstem nucleus communicates with the motor cortex, effectively resetting the motor neuron pools in the cramp-affected region. It's like hitting Control-Alt-Delete on your nervous system. Studies show pickle juice halts cramping 40% faster than water. And it worked. Within 25 seconds, Alcaraz's adductor released. This is neural hacking in real time. Pickle juice as a performance enhancer was discovered accidentally in the early 2000s by athletic trainers in American football. Players swore by it, but science took another decade to figure out why it actually worked. But here's what makes this revealing. Nadal rarely experienced muscle cramps in his peak years. Between 2005 and 2015, his prime decade, documented cramps occurred in fewer than 3% of his matches. Nadal's challenge was different. Mueller-Weiss syndrome, a progressive degenerative foot condition where the navicular bone, a small bone in the arch of your foot, loses blood supply and literally collapses. He managed pain through nerve ablation, literally burning the nerves so he couldn't feel his foot. 2 players, same sport, fundamentally different physiological nightmares. Let's talk about what really separates these 2 bodies. How they generate power. Nadal's forehand was concentric dominant, force generation through muscular contraction and torque. His forehand generated 80 to 120 rotations of topspin per second, the most in tennis history. To visualize this, if you could see the ball in slow motion, it would be rotating so fast it would look like a blur. But the cost? Nadal's forehand required 1.6 meters of preparation space, about the length of a yoga mat, and 85 milliseconds of transition time. Alcaraz is built on elastic recoil. His forehand uses the stretch-shortening cycle. Muscles stretch, store energy like a compressed spring, then release it explosively. Think of a slingshot or a catapult. Approximately 50% of the energy required for Alcaraz's forehand derives from elastic recoil, not muscular contraction. This reduces his transition time to 45 milliseconds. The consequence? Alcaraz achieves racket head velocity of 155 to 165 kilometers per hour. That's about 100 miles per hour, with only 1.2 meters of preparation distance. Same power output. 30% less space required. This is explosive efficiency. One system runs on springs, the other on engines. And engines burn out faster under extreme load. Hour 2, set 3. Alcaraz vomits into a towel. This isn't nausea, this is serotonin accumulation. During prolonged exercise, the neurotransmitter serotonin builds up in the brain, increasing perceived effort. That increased perception reduces motor drive output. Your brain tells your muscles, "This is too hard. Shut down." For explosive athletes who rely on type 2X fibers, every high acceleration movement requires the central nervous system to activate 80 to 95% of available motor units simultaneously. That's like redlining your car engine on every single acceleration. Alcaraz is vomiting at 2 hours 37 minutes? That's serotonin-induced gastrointestinal dysregulation, a hallmark of central nervous system fatigue in explosive athletes. But here's the shocking part. While Alcaraz was vomiting and cramping, Nadal at his peak could sustain aggressive baseline play for 4 hours 54 minutes and win. His longest match at the Australian Open against Novak Djokovic in 2012 lasted 5 hours 53 minutes. No cramping, no vomiting, just relentless grinding. Why? Heart rate variability. Nadal's years of clay court play built enhanced vagal tone, stronger parasympathetic dominance. His autonomic nervous system could maintain stable motor drive even under extreme fatigue. Alcaraz's system optimizes for short bursts of maximal power. But under cumulative fatigue over 5 hours 27 minutes, neural drive collapses. After the medical timeout, Alcaraz drops sets 3 and 4. He's down 5-4 in the 5th set. Zverev serving for the match. And then something changes. Alcaraz breaks him 3 consecutive times, wins 7-5. How does a cramping, vomiting, neurologically exhausted athlete suddenly become superhuman? The pickle juice reset the motor neurons. The 90-second timeout, combined with the changeover breaks, allowed partial central nervous system recovery. And in that final set, Alcaraz accessed the emergency reserve. When the brain perceives survival mode, it temporarily lifts the neural governor, the built-in safety mechanism that prevents you from damaging yourself. It's the same mechanism that allows a mother to lift a car off her child. Your body has reserves it refuses to let you access, except in life or death situations. Alcaraz's brain classified that 5th set as survival. But the cost? 10 days of complete central nervous system recovery before another maximal effort can be safely attempted. Which explains why Alcaraz struggled in the final against Djokovic 2 days later. His body was still in emergency shutdown mode. So here's the question. Whose body breaks first? Alcaraz's recurrent injuries cluster in a specific pattern, right adductor and right hamstring. 3 separate adductor strains between 2023 and 2026. 2 hamstring pulls. The recurrence suggests a kinetic chain weakness, a breakdown in the sequential transfer of force from foot to hip. The adductors and hamstrings compensate for stability, demands they're not programmed to handle. But what happens if that compensation continues for 10 more years? Knee degeneration. The hardcourt slide, executed 500+ times per tournament, places peak eccentric stress on the quadriceps. Landing forces of 2 to 3 times body weight produce cumulative micro-trauma to articular cartilage. The smooth lining inside joints, kind of like the enamel on your teeth. The biological price tag. If Alcaraz's knee absorbs insufficient muscular protection, degenerative changes could manifest by age 28 to 30. Early osteoarthritis. Career limiting. For context, many NBA players face similar issues. Dwayne Wade had both knees replaced before age 40 due to the cumulative impact of explosive movements on hard surfaces. Nadal's trajectory? Mueller-Weiss syndrome first appeared in 2005. Age 19. Progressive, degenerative, irreversible. By 2022, 17 years into living with the condition, Nadal required radiofrequency ablation. Doctors burned the nerves in his foot so he couldn't feel the pain during the French Open. He won. Then needed surgical intervention immediately after. The fundamental difference? Cartilage degeneration can be slowed with proper biomechanics and strength training. Chronically degenerated tendons and bones cannot revert to a healthy state. The two careers, two clocks, different countdown timers. Carlos Alcaraz and Rafael Nadal, both at age 22, represent opposite adaptations to the same sport. Nadal built a physiology around sustained grinding, 85 kilograms of dense musculature, type 2A fiber dominance, a central nervous system capable of maintaining high intensity for 4+ hours without medical intervention. Alcaraz optimized for explosive efficiency, 74 kilograms of lean engineering, type 2X fiber dominance, elastic energy reliance, a central nervous system capable of generating maximal power rapidly but vulnerable to cumulative fatigue. The 2026 Australian Open semifinal revealed the intersection of these strategies under maximal stress. Long-term, the degenerative trajectories diverge. Alcaraz faces early knee degeneration if his kinetic chain weakness isn't corrected. Nadal faced tendon rupture risk that ended his career at 38, though he lasted far longer than most predicted when his foot condition was first diagnosed. Neither is more injured than the other. They simply degrade along different systems, at different rates, for different physiological reasons. Understanding these distinctions is the key to explaining elite athletic longevity. Alcaraz won his 5th Grand Slam at 22 years, 1 month, 3 days. Same age as Nadal. 1 day apart. Destiny. But destiny has a body composition, a muscle fiber type, a central nervous system recovery window, and those biological realities? They don't care about legacy. They only care about physics. This is the injury breakdown. I'm Sebastian. And remember, greatness isn't about avoiding the breaking point. It's about knowing exactly when your body will reach it and what breaks first.